me. And I am live as well. So, all right then. Oof, the technical stuff we got to knock out earlier if we can. Even if I come over here and we knock this stuff out and then come back like a half hour later, because it just kills the energy whenever something doesn't work right.
Yeah.
Ah. All right. Okay. What have we missed? Okay, we just missed the recap of everything we've already seen. Gotcha.
Yep. Pretty much no matches or anything has started yet. So
Running down the matches for the night and showing people who's showing people that are showing up right now.
yeah.
Like I said before when we were talking about who got what titles. Like I said, I didn't think Stephanie nor Jordan were going to be down in the NXT very long.
Yeah.
But
Boy, they're doing a lot of moving around right now with stuff.
yeah, before we get to that though, let's. So, where'd you get these hats from?
So I got these from what was his name again? For stuff. It was
Babyface, a good guy.
shoot. Oh, I know the name of this. Come on. It's smartmarktees.com. So I was at Big Lick Comic Con over in Chantilly, Virginia, just outside of Washington D.C. It's like the burbs of D.C. And there's this guy just cosplaying NWA Ric Flair, and just had this cool idea for merch, kind of basic idea, but idea I haven't really seen people do, where it's just using the wrestling lingo like heel, babyface, jobber, stuff like that, and
Haha,
then
Michael
just
Cole in a Pacers uniform.
oh,
Keep going though, I'm
because
sorry.
he lost a bet.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I was helping him out. It was cool. It was right after I got this one Undertaker loot that I had just got. And I come along, I'm walking kind of like behind where he's standing with his booth. I realize he's, dressed up as Ric Flair, so I give him a woo and start talking to him for a while.
Uh,
Then I started pointing at anyone that was cosplaying wrestlers, like someone was dressed up as old Mankind. Uh, not the dress shirt, all dingy looking, the actual like brown potato sack looking kind of
nice.
look. I was telling anyone like that showed they were a wrestling fan, I was like, hey, go check out this guy over here. So I was hopefully sending them at least potential customers.
Oh
But I don't
shit!
know.
I forgot to hit record.
Oh God. Okay,
We're good. I'm live. I'm just not recording.
Oh.
There we go. Now we're recording.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, it's my first day.
All right.
First day.
So she just accidentally forgot to hit record and just hit again. Again, it was what the hell? Smartmarktees.com. Dude just dressed up as NWA Ric Flair with just doing the wrestling lingo stuff. Heel,
Pretty much
jobber,
dictionary, like the
babyface.
Urban Dictionary, but for wrestling lingo.
Yeah. So yeah, heel, villain, a bad guy. So
Very cool.
yeah, he had some fun banter with us because he's just like, "What do you see yourself as, a heel or a baby face?" I'm like, I had to think about it for a second. I'm like, I'm probably a heel. And then later on, the wife comes over and he asks her, just like, what do you see him as, a heel or a baby face? And she's just like, he's a baby face who thinks he's a heel. I got a big friggin' laugh.
Yeah.
She's just shitting on me.
Uh,
It's probably accurate. She probably knows better than I do.
yeah, I'd say so.
That was
Uh,
pretty good.
I have a lot to say about this past week, and I have a lot to say about WWE as a whole and TKO, but Let's see what Punk has to say, though.
Yeah. Oh, I got so much stuff to show off too.
Summertime.
get-
Sir, I live in Ohio. We hit 70 today?
Yeah. It was a little cool while cutting my grass today.
Man, I can't get rid of this one smudge. Just go away. My actual lens cleaners are. I have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah, not sure.
Ah. I haven't heard that. Who counts 3 that way?
The Germans.
That doesn't make it. That I would do it less.
Well, yeah.
Oh, come on.
I got
now,
that
Punk.
from Inglorious Bastards.
You know, I wanted to watch that. I never saw that.
Yeah. It's one of the things where their undercovers exposed themselves as not being German because when they held up for 3, German would hold up like that, but they held up, like that, like we would, and like they're not from here, they're not us. So the jig was up.
Do you think? Do you think Punk feels like better or worse today? Because I feel like as the cuts keep rolling down, if you're of a certain age, you're not surviving the cuts unless you're CM Punk.
Yeah, unless you're like top tier superstar, it seems like you're not surviving them.
Yep. It seems like there is an age maybe they're trying to hit as they cut some of these names more and more.
Yeah.
Because did you see the other ones so far? We talked about Truth.
I saw R-Truth and Carlito.
Yep. Sarah Logan, the chick that's with the War Raiders, she's not being renewed. And there's 3 more names supposedly contract wise that are up this year. It's Dragon Lee. I'm forgetting somebody else that's relatively, maybe Escobar, maybe, and the Miz all have contracts that are expiring this year.
I saw the thing where it came out that Miz, like someone figured it out. Miz like took WWE off all his social stuff.
As of about an hour ago, it's technically still in his IG bio, but it's not in his Twitter bio.
Yeah.
And the only WWE that he follows is at Fox WWE or something like that.
Yeah, that was the other thing. He like unfollowed like all the WWE stuff.
Right. But there's been nothing stated that he is not being renewed just yet.
Yeah.
If they don't renew him, what are they doing? What are they doing?
He might be pissed about the R-Truth thing and just moving on. Like,
I don't know. This has been his thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess he could go into just acting at this point, but I would argue he's as much of, if not more of a company guy than Cena. So.
Yeah. And Sammy Chant I want to know what's going on. Why are you out here?
Oh, I'm just gonna all talk about being the Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah.
That's all.
Ah.
Isn't AJ Styles in that match?
I'm not sure.
He's in a qualifier match tonight.
I think tonight is the final qualifiers.
Right, I'm pretty sure they just showed that. I just think that's Sammy. Come on now, AJ could win, right? AJ is not Team Seth.
Yeah. That's
And he's
because
just as good.
another thing that's the list is Stephanie Vakir is going to be in this last qualifying match. Pretty sure they're going to have her in there. Like, people are thinking it's going to be, the newcomers of Julia, Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vakir, and then the other three, say WWE veterans.
Yeah,
They're already in.
Right, I hope they show that again, the list of who's in, because I would like to see it, because I forgot.
I've already forgotten. Even though I saw this prediction that people are making, which would make sense.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sammy, a lot of fans already feel like it is turning into something unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Because that's the talk now. I mean, we said it, that it was like the best product going, and this is someone who enjoys both brands for a long time now. But it seems like since TKO took it over, some of the life has kind of been sucked out of it.
Yeah.
It started with the first round of cuts, in my opinion. There are some fan favorites, some people that you even said made no sense to you with that NXT roster being cut the way it was.
Yeah, especially now that they pulled up the ones that were getting all the airtime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what the fuck did you cut those people for?
Because now they're going to fill those in with
fill.
Thea Hale, and they're going to fill it in with the girl I can't think of her name of, and then there's the Rizzo girl, and then they're going to fill in with those.
Oh, man.
And some of the men, like they're bringing up Ricky Saints, it seems like soon. I don't know if you saw it or not, but they signed someone I do really like. Ace Austin, supposedly. Ace Austin is out of NXT. I'm sorry, out of TNA, going to NXT. Super talented guy. Been super talented for a long time. Met him back at the WrestleMania back in Jersey. Super talented guy. Has like I haven't watched enough TNA lately, but he used to have like a Gambit type gimmick. He'd carry cards, aces primarily. He had some pretty good bow skills. I mean, he pretty much was Gambit the way he moved around. He
Nice.
could be very good in NXT, but yeah. To start with the cuts, then The Rock came out and announced WrestleMania in New Orleans, and then they just stole that from New Orleans, pulled it right back off the table.
Yeah.
To the dismay of most of the fans, that would never have happened. Love him or hate him, other members, other ownership, another direction would never have let that happen.
Yeah.
They chickened out on it themselves. They've never mentioned the fact they've canceled it in New Orleans. They said the joint statement came out, and that's as much as Triple H has said. They can't bring themselves to say that they pulled it on New Orleans, like publicly, an actual statement themselves. They haven't been able to work out the dates because apparently there's a concert or something going on at the venue the weekend they want, so they're still dealing with that. And then they come back and they let go Truth right after he just got done doing a whole bit for them and having one of the highest selling shirts on the site.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And Sarah Logan isn't being renewed. And then the question becomes, does The Miz end up leaving? Like, you're losing a lot of main talent, and I get it. They think they can replace it with younger talent. But it feels like TKO is trying to run WWE like it's UFC.
Yeah, it's not.
Completely different fan base. I think I'm in the minority with the overlap.
You think about that in a way, they'd be doing that, and you'd be seeing like the Undertaker get cut.
I think
Like, as he
Undertaker
got
would have
older.
fallen in the same category as Punk, which I think he would have been okay. But very,
I think some of those years he was kind of underwhelming, and I think they would have just TKO just would have cut him.
could have. Let's hope TKO does understand that it takes time to foster talent here. As a fan of the UFC and a fan of WWE and all wrestling, I enjoyed the UFC more when they had less fighters. When you could keep track of every single fighter they had with no problem, I did enjoy that more. The reality is it's not safe for the fighters, so I'm okay with a bigger roster turnover. And your average UFC fan is going to know most of the people or a lot of the people and just enjoy fights. But wrestling is more about the story-based, and if you just keep cutting the talent that's established that people know, they're not going to keep coming back. It's not the same as the UFC roster. I just hope they get that.
Yeah, you start cutting out the reason that they want to be there, and you're fucked.
Right. And it's the character and the development of the characters that make them want to be there. And if you get rid of that, I just don't know if they're understanding it. On top of that, I hate the idea of WrestleMania in Vegas so much. The more I thought about it as someone who's gone to a WrestleMania and as someone who's gone to Double or Nothing, AEW's pay-per-view, when it was in Vegas, I was underwhelmed when I went to Double or Nothing because I expected a WrestleMania experience. It wasn't that. There was something to do for like an hour or two every night that was AEW related, but that's it.
Yeah.
Besides, obviously, the show. Double or Nothing was plenty long enough. So I approached it wrong myself. In hindsight, if you're going to hold something yearly at Vegas, that's the way to do it. If I would have known that that's how I was going to go, like if I would have went the following year, or they still did it and they won it again, I would go, land, do my helicopter tour of Vegas, do the Vegas stuff, and then night one, hit karaoke with the roster of AEW like they did for an hour at the end of the night. But I still would have done some Vegas stuff. The next day, hung out by the pool, found out when the meet and greet was, if I wanted autographs or what panels, figure that out, and then bail. Go see Chris Angel. Go see the Blue Man Group. Go see, if you're into it, Thunder Down Under. Whatever you want to see, go see it, and come back for your meet and greet. You still got to experience a lot of wrestling, but you could have also done Vegas stuff. WWE putting their stuff in Vegas every year, there's no time to do Vegas stuff. And it's so spread out there that you have to Uber here, Uber there, rent a car to go there, do this. It was better when it gave people a reason to go to a location they would not have gone to on vacation.
Yeah.
WrestleMania in Indianapolis. I probably would never go to Indianapolis on a vacation. Put WrestleMania there, and I'm going to go enjoy WrestleMania. And maybe I do other things touristy-wise that I never would have done in Indy. Minnesota the same way. New Orleans, I guess if you're a partier, you might go down for Mardi Gras. But
you're also cutting out people that would drive to something like this.
Right.
Instead, you're making it so that unless you're like in California or like say New Mexico, Arizona, you're not really going to be able to drive to it. You're going to have to fly. And not everyone's going to want to do that. And you're going to kind of scare off families just for the fact that it's in Vegas to begin with.
Right. That's the other factor
I
to
mean,
it.
you even got, some of the prostitutes on the streets trying to,
Oh, I'm sure
give
of
you
it.
their
They're everywhere. You got
coupons and
women
stuff
in
like
you got
that.
women in pasties everywhere on the street.
Yeah.
And that's
They don't
on the
wanna-
up and up. That's not even the escorts. That is
Yeah.
literally the on the
Yeah.
up and up promoting the whatever club they're at.
People don't want to be dragging their kids around that, but they still want to take them to WrestleMania. So,
Yeah.
the Vegas thing.
That is a UFC crowd. That is a 21 and older crowd that wants to go to Vegas and do that. And the difference is to also UFC 316. Guess what? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch UFC Stone Cold essentially. Because I'm a big, I'm an O'Malley fan. I'm a UFC fan. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
But you go there for that. Maybe you do one little convention if they have it's a big show. They might have something going on convention, and the rest is Vegas time. I just don't think TKO understands how much product WWE gives out on WrestleMania and how Vegas is such the worst place for it possible. Okay, Stephanie's moveset is perfect for Vegas, but nothing else is perfect for Vegas.
Yeah. I think I'm almost out of this commercial. They're just promoting Stephanie here.
Yeah, they don't technically consider this a commercial because she's coming in next.
Oh, are you getting this too?
Yeah, the commercial ended a minute ago.
Okay, so
The commercial actually, the first two competitors are in the ring. So
Yeah.
Liv came down, got in the ring. You missed her being all bendy on the top rope, doing her Liv thing. And then Niall came out.
yeah, there we go.
Let's see what she gets.
Whoa, it's with the white coat.
Goes with the smoke.
Oh, nice shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads are apparently back in again.
Actually, that's a collar, I think. The collar of the
I think,
coat?
yeah, the collar's just not popping.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like it's actually losing some steam, and I hate that because the talent that they do have here is so good. But I watched Double or Nothing last weekend as well. And they have bright spots that can hang with WWE again. They're pulling back into they're in the mirror at least. I'll say that. They're definitely back in the mirror in terms of content that you want to watch. At least I want to watch.
So this Saturday we have a doubleheader. Worlds Collide at 3 p.m. and then Money in the Bank. Huh?
No, we have a triple header. Again,
Triple
I got
header?
done
That's
telling
another?
you I'm going to watch the O'Malley fight, UFC 316.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's
Is
why that starts
af-
at 7.
Oh, so that's after those two, huh?
Yes.
Oh.
So that start. I don't know if you noticed or not, but it said start time 7 o'clock last I checked. They want it to end by 10 so that people who want to watch the O'Malley fights will order the pay-per-view and watch O'Malley fights. And there's actually a couple fights on there. It's actually pretty good. So TKO weekend right here, man. It just TKO'd my Saturday is what it did. But I don't know what the hell is going on right now. Recovered nicely.
Hey, I got both you bitches back. Did that. Kick her ass out the ring.
Ooh,
Oh.
that sounded good.
Yeah, it sounded
Or bad,
great.
depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. I mean, pretty sure it's fine.
Oh
but it
boy.
sounded
Oh
bad.
boy.
Um,
Thank you, Steph.
I think we both like that there. Can't go wrong there.
Are we going for round two? I think we're going for round two. Oh, Liv. Oh. So yeah, I don't know. I know you didn't catch anything with Double or Nothing, but there were some super quality matches on that. Will Ospreay versus Hangman Page, no doubt, was
Okay.
a fantastic match. The Anarchy in the Arena match was hilarious with the way they did things. So a very good pay per view. Few down spots. It wasn't golden all the way through, but it was definitely quality. Ooh.
Ow!
So I just think they've got a lot of momentum, but they've got to understand here at WWE that they can't run this the same. Well, I don't think WWE is doing it. I think TKO needs to understand that it's not UFC.
Yep. Yeah, they gotta figure out this is like completely different.
And it does kind of feel scattered, no matter whose fault it is. Tell me The Rock comes out, makes these claims, does this stuff, and then disappears and tells us it's part of the story. It's like, no. If it was part of the story, that's just some bad storytelling.
Well, it's all these cuts they did like for so long that the Wyatt Six weren't doing anything. I would have figured they all got cut, but I guess not.
Nope.
They got plans to try and get something going, which is good, but then not good for the other cuts. I don't know. It's
I know about the Wyatt Six. It's not everybody's bag. I know I have friends who don't like them at all. I like the fact that they're different. I think it makes the writing for them hard, personally.
I'm
But
glad that they finally got them back and are doing something with them, because if they didn't bring them back, I think in the moment that they did, I would have thought with these cuts they would all be among it.
yeah, I could see how you could think that. But they've survived many other cuts before.
Yeah.
But I'll hear the crowd.
No, I'm in the commercial.
Oh, there's a truth chant.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess they're glad they're in commercial then.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, this is where I'd be yelling from the stands because I tend to turn on wrestling when I'm at wrestling because I'm interested to see the angles in which the camera's cutting to. Um, and I think I'd be like, guys, we're in commercial. Hold on. We got to try again in like a minute 38.
Yeah. There's one thing I heard today where, with the Braun Strowman cut, I was hearing like, well, he's not like cut. It's just he's gonna have some like part-time contracts here and there where they're gonna utilize them, is what I heard. So I don't know how true that is, but that could make some sense. Bring them in to kind of work kind of like enhancement almost, and then
Is that good?
how about for a bit? Well, I mean, if that's good for Braun, then it could be.
I don't know if that is good for Braun.
Well, that's
I
the
think that
thing.
could be bad overall. She's trying to get herself suplexed.
40 seconds.
She set up for a double. Like she was going to suplex both Ivy and Vakir. And we all knew Liv was going to get suplexed. She just took a massive vertical suplex. They held her there forever.
We going into a chin lock yet?
Liv is rolled underneath the turnbuckle. She's going to rest her poor little back. And we got a forearm battle between Ivy. Stephanie is throwing some a backhand into a backspin kick. Off the ropes, tilt-a-whirl, but not into a hurricanrana, but into a pin. And Liv broke it up by pulling Stephanie up by her hair.
Ah.
So I worry about that kind of stuff because then what happens to the talent? if that becomes the norm where they let talent just be eat the feet, um, just become contractual like that, they're already independent contractors. They already have issues with health insurance and this and that have been discussed in the past. If they're literally on like a UFC scenario where they're on a match count or a show count, you're going to see it being much harder for talent to make the money they can make. Is that a
Yeah.
debut patch on her back? I thought she already debuted.
This is her official debut day.
Okay. So it's on the back of her top of her gear, I think. Is the patch. But yeah, on the other side,
Oh.
behind all that hair.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my fear for that though, is that unless you're a Liv, unless you're a Ripley, unless you're a Punk, you know, the way the UFC does stuff, their contracts are by fights. And they have to offer you like 3 fights a year. If they offer, maybe it's by per show, maybe it's a 10 show contract essentially. You can sign it and then you're there for 10 shows, but maybe it's spread out to the point where you lose some steam, some momentum. Maybe you're, whatever the case is, it could be detrimental to.
Oh, I see the patch now.
It could be detrimental to how they can kind of like control their. I don't want to say control their destiny, but control. They have less say in how. Whoo! It could just kill the momentum. And they could never get anything going because they get booked for a 5 show contract, for example, and then don't get used right. But maybe they don't make a whole lot. So then WWE offers them another 5 or 6 show contract scenario, and they never get a chance to really run a career the way they want to because they never get used properly because it's so low stakes for the company.
Yeah. Yeah, that could kill them.
And I think that's scary because, again, you can do that with fighters because they're only going to fight twice a year, 3 times a year tops, and that's if everything goes great. But you can't do that when you're trying to build a narrative. So I really hope they don't run this the same way they run UFC. So, and they cut him to do this to save money because they thought he was making more, or at least that's all the reports, making more than they thought he was worth. Oh, how do I look on the camera on your stream?
Just.
Does it need to be higher or lower?
I mean, I see your face, basically brim of the hat is where it's kind of cut off. I don't know. Seems all right.
I never set that camera.
It's essentially your version of the hat. I see you got it on the thing shelf behind you.
Yeah, I was wearing it at the start.
So, yeah, that's perfectly
fine.
I
made the swap over there because I redid the whole background.
Yeah.
Brought out the action figures and brought out one of the title belts and stuff like that in the corner. I love that they've learned how to get back in the ring in a timely manner. Used to be once you got thrown out, you lost for no reason.
I actually got to take my hat off for now because
I just turned the air on in the house.
Ow.
Our house is up over 82 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm like, we can turn it back up, but we are definitely bringing this house back down.
Yeah. I'm in the basement in a sweatshirt. Yep, there we go. There's Stephanie advancing. Oh, and there was her patch again.
Yep.
Oh, that last pay-per-view when she was wearing all dark purple, I'm just like, oh my god, wear that more.
Huh, we lost him. Let's see if he comes back. I imagine he has to know he dropped.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, I figured you were mid sentence looking at the camera when you went away. That time I figured you'd be coming back any second.
Yeah. So there we go. We get our whole list. And it was as predicted.
Yep.
Stephanie is the last one. There's AJ. So yeah, you're right about that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. This is set up purposely to either prove my comment correct or wrong.
Jeez. Trying to tell him to take a dive.
Yes. But more importantly, to go after the Dirty Sanchez mustache guy, according to him.
Yeah. Paul, why is your hanky not match tie?
It's close,
Doesn't
but he
even-
couldn't quite get it perfect.
Yeah, doesn't really match those two.
Okay, so I stand by what I meant, which is they talked about how, like, what AJ stood no chance. Give me a break. He's a phenomenal one. Sammy already ruled out AJ. I'd feel disrespected if I was AJ.
Yeah.
American Made is on so much.
I got 3 minutes of ads. I'm gonna run and go get something because I think I forgot a thing.
Okay,
So,
go for it.
I'll be right back. I'll probably take the doggy too because he'll freak out. No freaking out. Come with me.
He just run down an agenda. Okay. Kind of a negative beginning to the agenda. He's going to say that his luchador choice is going to win. Money in the Bank. You know, I had a psychology professor that used to call agendas anticipatory sets, and I like that. That stuck with me for a while. I wonder if he's learning from someone who's like looks like Snape. The dark arts of lucha libre. I mean, they're not really accomplishing anything, but man, American Made is everywhere. That is impressive.
Feed these animals while I'm at too. So I do it all on one break. This kind of wants to eat.
Vikingo. Very cool. So I assume that's going from 3 to 6, and then I am assuming 6 is the kickoff show, or 6:30 for Money in the Bank, and then I think Money in the Bank's at 7, and then that goes until probably 10ish, and then we got UFC 316 with O'Malley coming back again. I mean, I should go down that list at some point and make some picks for that card. I like that O'Malley is refocused, more off of social media and stuff like that. Hopefully he can defend the takedown. He had some type of injury before. I don't want to say it was hip, but he could not defend the takedown. If he can't defend the takedown, he's losing the same way again in a very boring main event. So hopefully he defends the takedown and lands some counter shots on the takedown attempts and can get back his belt, man, because I can't stand when people just lay on people to get win fights. That's someone who actually likes the ground game, but there's a difference between laying on somebody and advancing for position and trying to do something and just laying there to get the points for control. It's bleh. Bok? No, it has to be Bach? Bach Center? What the hell is Bach?
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm back just in time for Rusev.
I'm disappointed that they cut a lot of people and brought you back, Rusev.
Yeah, that's...
I don't dislike you, Rusev, but you're very one-dimensional as a character. So to cut so many characters that are so versatile and so dimensional, to bring back, you know, a brute, essentially, I would rather just have somebody else on the roster who's already a brute that just turn heel. Whether it be Sheamus or whether it would have been Braun instead of you, I wouldn't have cared. Just, I had no problem with him coming back until everyone else got cut. Then I suddenly had a bigger problem with him coming back.
Yeah, that kind of was like dirt in the wound, and you didn't know you had the wound yet.
Right.
And you realized, hey, I'm wounded. I got dirt in it. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So, I kind of realized I had to run and go get something. Because as you were talking about the one guy we sort of need back, I found him.
I don't think we need him back.
There are rumors that he's going to try and buy WWE again. I don't think that's true.
He trademarked something recently.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying they would never have canceled on a place after announcing it under him.
Yeah. I believe you. I almost figure Sheamus here is in danger of getting let go.
It depends. I mean, again, I think you're probably right. I would say he's fine because he's in a storyline and he's on TV a lot, but that doesn't mean anything to these people.
Yeah, like
And
you said, they'll cut during storylines.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to know what the logic is. I guess maybe it's someone just looking at a list of names, or is there an algorithm that we don't know about? Merch sales meet age meets salary, all jumbled into some type of equation that gets you cut.
or is it like TKO's coming down and going to who knows who, like say Triple H, and going like, okay, we need to cut down to this number or something like that, and he just has to figure out from his rosters like, who do I need to get rid of?
I think a lot of the cuts come from that Khan guy, but I can't think of his name right now. Because Nick, I think maybe.
Yeah, Nick Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the CFO. I think he's Chief Financial Officer.
Yeah.
He'd be in charge of that. But
didn't love how he looked over WrestleMania weekend, because he always had kind of like a sneer where it's just kind of like, I'm judging everything, I'll fire all of you.
Well,
it's kind of his look on his face the entire time.
Well, I mean, it is a business. And when you have that much going for it, like you can, we can all say that Tony Khan for AEW looks, at very least I'll put it nicely, manic as hell. And he makes irrational decisions and stuff like that. But he's also the boss. There is no the boss that anyone can talk to because it's TKO.
Yeah.
And when you have a company like that, you have two things that can happen. And I hope this doesn't happen, but you have two things that can happen. You can have, eventually, you have some top people right now that's riding high. Rhea, Liv, Punk. But at some point, and I think we've all been part of major companies like this, a point where you don't care because you don't feel the top people care because you never meet the top people. You know, whether it was a Blockbuster, whether it was this place, whether it was that place. When you don't see the bosses and the bosses don't see you, and then you start cutting people like R-Truth, it can become a place where the talent, I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon here, because again, they have a lot of goodwill built up over the past year, 2 years. But you could start to have talent going, man, they don't care about us. I'm not going to care that much.
Yeah.
And you could have some backlash from that.
Just had Stevie Richards talking on like his whole podcast show, going like, boy, the people over at NXT are really going to start to feel like they got breaking their neck every week just so they stay on the roster. Because they moved up all the talent that was like getting all the TV time, and then they tossed a bunch of people out that you would think is now going to get TV time.
See, I think they have a lot of talent down there that's young enough that's going to try to break their neck to get hired. Don't get me wrong, you're Evans and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I honestly think it's an age thing, especially down there. I think if you hit past 25 down there, they really question, like, if we don't see a spot on you in the main roster for you, and you're already 25 down here, can we get, unless you're assigned, like you have some ringers, the Jordan Graces, the Vicurs, the Julius, that come from someplace else. But if
they're safe because they've already
they were handpicked, they were cherry picked, they were headhunted, as they call in the business world, to come here. But if you got a pick from a tryout, for example, you're expendable at all costs, and I think that's not a big deal. But even their tryouts are ridiculous. They charge like $600 a ticket for the tryouts.
Sheesh.
So let's say I'm a wrestler. Let's say I get a tryout, right?
Yeah.
I think I have to pay to try out one. I forget for sure on that one. But then they want you to try out in front of a live crowd, which makes all the sense in the world. They want to make sure that they want to give you an audience to, cut your promos in front of, whatever they want to have you do. You just missed entrances. War Raiders are almost in the ring.
Gotcha.
But that mom and dad and brother and sister and girlfriend all going to want to watch you try out for your dream WB job, right?
Yeah, so everyone's got to pay $600.
$600.
It's insane.
So you're going to get someone, you're going to see what they got, you're going to get an eyes on them, you're going to get that, and you're going to make $1,800 off their family in the process.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yes. So And then they can bring into NXT, and you're on a much smaller contract. And if they want to cut you, they cut you. That's what they can do. Now, if you are, again, headhunted, if you are Stephanie or Julia, for example, or Mariah May just supposedly got signed to WWE. Mariah May is out of AEW. She was one of the hotter tickets in AEW. She's got done feuding with Toni Storm. Oh, you saw? I sent some clips of that match to you as it was happening at that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That was that really bloody women's match that happened.
Yeah. Taping glass to their fists and shit.
Yep, that's the one that just got signed supposedly to come to NXT. So, yeah, that's where I think the business strategy is. And on the main roster, I could definitely see there being like a cutoff point at like 36, unless you are a Punk, unless you are a Cody Rhodes, unless you are a Roman Reigns. Because I think they begin from a business aspect to maybe fear the Kevin Owens scenario.
Oh.
The risk of injury as you get older probably gets higher, just like the risk of injury in fighters goes up as they get older. Same can be said about wrestlers. Maybe that's part of it. That's why I keep going back to the age factor. I really think age is going to become a bigger factor if TKO has their say in it.
Boy.
Unless you're Finn, who's 43 or whatever and looks like he's 22. So that's what life is like if you just hate sugar. So that's kind of the stuff I'm wondering about as we go forward.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point though with KO just getting hurt like he did.
And that's kind of why I keep...
if that does have anything to do with their mindset.
I mean, I'm sure they see it. I'm sure they have their own metrics at TKO as it relates to the fighters in the UFC injury to... They probably have an injury to performance metric, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
At TKO. So the risk of injury from a simple bump, and if they get hurt, what is the likelihood of the return having any effect? If, God forbid, Liv gets hurt and takes her 6 months to come back, she's still going to have a impactful return and a long career after that. What happens to Kevin Owens afterwards? People still love to see him come back. Yeah, but if you go through that whole process, JD, how did you almost end up on the table, man?
JD, why you just had this type of bad experience with these guys? Avoid that table.
Yeah, but I just wonder if that goes into a mindset. If there's a cost analysis scenario, just like Major League Baseball and football, where, do we want to sign the 40-year-old quarterback to a 5-year contract, like an Aaron Rodgers type deal? Probably not. And I'm going to bet that TKO kind of has that mindset. But this is the part that they're missing, is that both Kofi and Xavier are a little bit older, and they have such good chemistry, and they know how to work, and they know how to be funny, and these things are entertaining, just like R-Truth was. They didn't do anything. I'm with New Day on this one. They didn't do a damn thing yet.
Yeah, they didn't.
That is the most confident ref I've ever seen. Running down there to kick out New Day. Like, Ripley could be kicking the hell out of somebody, and refs are like, no, stop. Please just stop. Please just stop. New Day gets kicked out, and that one ref's like, I can take both of them. You get the hell out of here.
I got 30 minutes of commercials again.
Double axe handles. You're missing some good 80s wrestling.
It never ends.
Top rope axe handles. What do you got over there?
I'm displaying some shit.
That's cool. They just lawn darted both of them into each other. Keep going.
I kept seeing all these like 3D printed dragons. I was starting to see like one that was like black and dark purple that look really, really cool. And I'm like, probably gonna come back and get that until I came across a booth
Oh,
that was doing this one.
that is sick.
So it's just a
Oh,
big. Are you kind of moaning about what's in the ring?
yeah. Ivar went for a Bronco Buster, and JD moved, and he Bronco busted the bottom turnbuckle with his sack.
Okay, so
Oh,
so the none of that was over this.
that's very cool. But that's not a That was a
Okay.
disgust. You don't want that for that. That's cool.
The little Deadpool dragon.
That's very, very cool. At the tech job I had for a short time, one of the employees had a 3D printer, and we had a bunch of geckos like that printed out everywhere over the office.
The tail is even cross swords, which I didn't
That's
notice
cool
when
too.
I got it.
That's very cool.
So that's another detail I just noticed now. So
Good find. Good con find.
once
For
I
sure.
build shelves, that will be going there. God. Put this thing down so I don't kill it. Okay, put it where it won't die. Go over here and not die.
It's a dragon.
Because
It's
anything
not dying.
3D printed, you drop it from like desk height on the floor, you have a very good chance of shattering it.
Yeah.
So be very, very careful. We break models at my work all the time as we print models of teeth because we're a dental lab. I think I gotta fix that spring because how this guy put it in this thing. But Deadpool pop vinyl that has a better stand because he's coming out of a birthday cake.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got to fix that spring though. But yeah,
Yeah, only $3.
can't
So I'm
beat
just
that.
like, yeah, I'll get that for $3, no problem. I got something for Eric too at work because he's like, oh, he's a Hulk fan. So
I'm assuming the bust has a base under it.
it actually
Okay.
doesn't have a base. It has a thing for a base, but it can also.
It's still pretty flat.
Yeah, it sits very
okay.
flat.
It's very flat. Okay.
Very, very flat.
Very cool. Very cool.
So that'll be pretty good. Now that I'm back from commercial, I'll wait to show other shit. But
You missed the Bronco Buster miss in the corner, which gave New Day the control of the match, and then you came back just in time for Chinlock. What other tag teams are there right now in WWE? You got, or at least on Raw. We got,
DIY.
well, they're on SmackDown,
Oh, I was just watching SmackDown because I'm
right? Getting caught up
traveling
on
for the
stuff after
con,
being at the
yeah.
con, yeah. So War Raiders, Judgment Day, New Day, Creed Brothers. That it?
Otis and Tozawa are on here, right?
Yes.
Or was that
When
SmackDown?
no, I think they're on here, but
Okay. Try to make sure I'm not getting it confused with what I just watched for
no,
Friday's
'cause
SmackDown.
they're battling Rusev. Individually, they've been battling Rusev the past 2 weeks.
That's right.
So there's only 5 if you count Otis and Tozawa tag teams.
Yeah.
So that makes sense for why these two have met 5 times or whatever they just said.
Yeah. It's in some ways their roster feels kind of thin now at this point.
I don't
Not
think
always.
it's fit. I just think it's interesting booking right now. They're using Otis and Tozawa as like enhancement to make Rusev look good. When those two should probably be in the tag division
They should be
Trying
in the tag
for
division.
their own well-being and getting more out of their own time. And I feel like JD and Finn could both prosper just fine in individual work. But they just keep putting them in tag matches, which doesn't make much sense to me. They could really use a 205 or a cruiserweight belt. Just bring back the traditional cruiserweight belt that WWE used to have, man. It would go so well. Don't make it a weight class. Just make it a cruiserweight belt. And you could have some hell of some bangers with JD and Chad and Penta and
Phoenix and
yeah. The champion themselves could float from show to show like the tag champs can do at times, stuff like that. I think that's a fantastic idea. And then you give all these influx of luchadors you brought in a chance to really shine. That used to be one of the best things about WCW is their use of luchadors.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a big reason, like, partly why we watched it. I mean, those were like some really good matches to watch
Yeah.
before it got to, like, say the end of the night when you have whatever
Well,
the show's going off the air payoff.
They were perfect back then too because they didn't want to do racy things in the first hour most of the time. So what they would do is they'd have all the good performance matches in the beginning. So your cruiserweight stuff and things like that, and then for WCW at the time, your Stacy Keeblers and stuff, and Tori Wilson's at the time, and their NWO stuff would all come out in the last hour.
Yeah.
So it was great for that. And I think it's actually a good way to book a card too, is to get it rolling right off the bat, high energy.
Yeah.
Does Roxanne end up with Finn? Like, does that actually...
Boy, oh boy. It's going to be one of those nights again, huh?
Apparently. This time it's not saying I'm dropping frames anywhere or doing anything. That last time when you dropped like 4 times in a show, that was definitely on my end because if I'm dropping frames too, I know it's on my end. But this time, it says it's streaming fine.
So that is the thing. It is based on our connection to one another, so it could be me tonight.
Right, it could bounce them back and forth on whoever has whatever service is having shoddier connection. Sadly,
it could be me.
It could be me again. It could just be our session layer because we connect. I'm assuming through something like an SSH or something like that, a secured shell layer, and that layer 3, I believe it is, in the connection layer is literally the connection pathway. That's why it's called the session layer. And on either end of it, if the session layer the handshake gets broken, it's going to get dropped. So it could be either end of ours. I was just pretty confident last time with how often I was dropping frames and everything else that it was probably on my network card end of it that I was having the problem almost guaranteed. But at any other night, it could be either or.
Yeah, it's having some weird little issues with the game I was just playing before we did this, so I don't know. I don't know if it's my internet provider or that was just a separate issue.
Yeah, it's hard to say for sure without running some tests because, that could have been their servers, for example.
Could have been.
So
they've always had some kind of buggy problems.
But so when does Becky get involved in this?
Get involved in like what, the Money in the Bank match?
No, get involved in Becky's business. New Day is about to
Oh.
complain to Grayson Waller.
Okay. God, another 3-minute commercial. Good God, man.
New Day is trying to convince Grayson Waller that Austin Theory is holding him down.
Well,
God, they're back again. American Made's back in the commercial break again. Oh boy. So New Day told Grayson Waller to drop Austin Theory because he's holding him back. And Grayson Waller kind of bought into it from the looks of it. And then American Made showed up again. Man, they had so much TV time. They're not going anywhere. They cut those guys. They don't have to do during the commercial breaks. They got nothing for the commercial breaks. And New Day's like, listen, sorry, there's oily bodies everywhere. We accidentally got the pinfall, and now we have bigger problems with New Day, not New Day, Judgment Day. And the Creed brothers weren't having any of it. They said, no, your big problem's still with us. We're going to take your titles. And they walked away. And Chad looked impressed with his initiative of his tag team. He actually looked like he had an approving face for once of his tag team with the way they told off New Day, essentially. And now we're doing a McAfee minute. And I think he just predicted the Pacers in 6 over, I think they're playing Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So that didn't go well for him. He got a little bit of backlash for picking against them, but
yeah, CM Punk was all going like, it's gonna be a little thunder in here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that was your commercial break.
Yeah.
The oil capital of the United States for now. They actually built that damn pipeline in Alaska. Whew. I imagine we're going to see Liv and New. I keep calling New Judgment Day at this point. Judgment Day. Again, yet tonight as well.
Kathy Kelly leaning weird, or is she pregnant?
I just think she's leaning weird.
Okay.
I was more. Where are they at? That there's a arcade and a vintage bright yellow-ish, greenish.
Why is it called Schmeg?
I don't know. Hey. The outline of the lip is interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like that look. It's kind of like, eh.
It's got a Joker look to it. Kind of fits her personality. It's fine.
I didn't see it like that. Yeah.
I said it looked like the Joker because it outlined it and then it had the little flares off the end.
Maybe that's what she's going for. I didn't see it. All right. What are we pissed about here? More Becky shit?
I'm sure it's Becky shit. And Becky's pissed for some reason too. You helped me win a tag title for a day, and now I hate you for it. What? A lot of fiery attitudes. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Her music's still way too happy for this. I don't want it
Yeah.
to change, but like it doesn't fit her personality anymore.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't fit this like heel persona that she's doing right now.
No. It's like when our local team, PME, went heel and they came out to Phil Collins' studio. It's like, nope, this ain't working still. You need to find a
Yeah.
different version of this song. Hey, there's a guy named Roy in the front row. Or second row.
Monday Night Row.
Yeah.
Roy.
Puppy's mad he's missing Raw.
What are you doing?
Missing Raw, not happy about it.
What are you doing back there?
Ah, God, I can hear Becky's pants from here. I owned a pair of pants like that back in high school, and I could just hear the swoosh, 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 swoosh every step.
Oh.
I thought she was going to say breath because she is leaning so far back like that.
You attacked her, you crazy lady.
Yeah, you sabotaged her partner, then attacked her.
Are you attacking her? Make any sense?
I mean, she's never getting in. The heel never gets in.
Two men to hold back Valkyrie and one woman to hold back Becky and throw her back in the back.
Well, Lyra's one who came running down the ramp, so in theory, psychologically speaking, she is the more pissed off one, but they have nobody in Tulsa that they are promoting anything?
Apparently not.
That's wild.
What a lucky friggin' shot that was.
Yeah.
Did that go to game 7?
I believe it did, actually.
God damn. Boy, if you didn't have that luck shot, he ain't going.
That would have been back-to-back years they missed it.
I feel so bad for Seattle. Because Oklahoma City here is Seattle's Supersonics
Oh, yeah.
that they had ripped out of their city.
Not a whole lot going on there. Let's check this out real fast. Are you in a commercial? What are you going? No, you're just watching Penta. Okay.
Yeah, watch Penta. Bringing his honorary use with him.
Oh, I think it's a tag match.
Yep.
They're taking on Team Rollins. Does his glasses say Sammy? I missed that.
Yes.
Looking at the auction site.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, a little bit bigger kid knew to get out in the aisleway and eat.
Yeah.
The other little kids and kind of didn't figure it out. But, they're young.
Wow, that one fan, that girl is going nuts.
Yeah. And definitely got their tickets in the right friggin' spot.
Yep. You're going to commercial.
Don't you dare jinx me. Don't you send me to commercial, you bastard.
I mean, they're gonna yeet to a commercial break. Let's be real.
Oh, bitch. All right. Well,
So what else you got?
so the first thing I ended up finding, I almost need to take the one thing out of here or move it out the way. It's like prints. They end up giving you like another little thing with it. I'm gonna get that out the way. But the first thing I ended up needing to get was this, which I'm getting a bit of glare, I think.
That's pretty cool. That's a
I
nice
should
print.
get that out. Get rid of some of that glare. That's a bit better.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that print.
But yeah, love that. Um, I found a spot that was like doing prints, and they were doing like it was, you could get like 1 for 20, or you could get like 3 for 40. So I'm like, well, I like 2 of them. So the first one that I kind of spotted was this one.
That's fun. I like it. I like it.
Funny as hell. And I'm like, well, I should definitely do the Ninja Turtles version from like with what we grew up with.
Awesome.
That's great.
Sammy is dancing. Sammy is full out dancing.
Then
Holy shit.
I didn't have too many options as other stuff I liked for my like third and like free one, but I found something that was decent enough without going thirsty with the boobas. So found this that the artist did, which was really cool.
That is cool.
He has another version of it where it has like the like rat head helmet on his face, but I thought this was a little bit more noticeable with Pickle Rick. Otherwise, you
Right.
might not realize what the hell you're looking at, especially if I end up having it behind me. So that was his last one. He took that out of his flip book, signed all 3 of them, and gave that one to me.
Very cool.
So, and we got 30 seconds left, so I'll save what
They
bit
just
more.
restarted the song. They both got to the center of the ring, and the music stopped, and Jay did his little.
Yeah, roll it back.
Yep. I haven't looked at the prices for SummerSlam. I'm scared.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Special delivery. Yay! Special delivery. Do you want a dog? No. 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 That's my dog. She don't want you.
Hmm.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I'll give you attention since Mom won't. Okay. Yes. Okay. Doggo pretty much had a ball this weekend staying at my parents' playing with his brother and their other dog. So he had a really good time.
All right, I'm looking at 2-day ticket prices for SummerSlam. If you want to go both nights,
Okay.
Nosebleeds are going anywhere from 257 for both nights, which ain't bad,
That's not awful.
to the most expensive nosebleed I see is 561 for both nights.
Okay.
Mezzanine level or club level, essentially, you're looking at the low end 350, 316 before. I don't know if that's, I think that's with taxes and stuff, to as high as $1,200. Lower bowl 586. The aisleway 1,861. Ringside looks like it's approximately $3,000, give or take a little bit for 2 nights, and that's all on StubHub. So yeah, it's not too bad. You can get into nosebleeds at about $250 if you just want to be there.
Yeah.
If you actually want a decent seat for 2 nights for one person, you have to pretty much assume it's going to be $500 at least for a decent seat. So if you wanted to go with a friend, you're spending over $1,000. If you want to sit in lower bowl and actually have a pretty decent seat, similar to what we sat for SummerSlam when it was here, for both nights, you're looking at about $4,000. That's ridiculous.
Eesh.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, for a single night, just Saturday, the only one that seems to be getting cheaper are nosebleeds. Nosebleeds get cheaper for a single night. 148, 155, 146. Otherwise, they're about the same. Wild.
Good guy runs those ropes friggin' fast.
23 miles an hour, I've heard. They just got done with the entrances. What are they doing putting you back in commercial?
I don't know. It's been like this all night. It's just I get like 4 minutes of show and I get 3 minutes of commercial. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
We might have to try to watch the Dynamite. Just see how that goes. That's on TNT, I think.
Yeah.
And just kind of watch the pacing. I always watch it separate, so I skim the commercials. I'm just kind of curious what it'd be like watching it live. If maybe they have better pacing.
Like almost watch one of those instead of Raw.
Well, just for a week, just to see what the pacing is like. Just compare and contrast the viewing entertainment between the two.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not going to have nearly as much invested because you don't know as many of the wrestlers, but purely from like a production presentation. Now, I'm not going to lie. I like the look of Raw better than I like the AEW product. The lighting and everything looks better, in my opinion, on Raw. But I haven't watched the Dynamite live in a long time, so I can't tell you what the commercial break aspect is. Also, what might be interesting to do is next week on Raw, time how many commercial breaks and how much of your night is wasted watching commercials versus wrestling.
Oh, and possibly even just like while I'm watching wrestling, like I run a stopwatch.
Yeah.
As soon as the commercial ends, stopwatch.
Yep.
Then just start writing down numbers and go like, okay, it was this much time this much time commercial.
Yep. And then compare and contrast that to other shows, whether it's to NXT, whether it's to Dynamite, and see which one you get the best bang for your buck for, essentially. But also part of the problem with the way they do commercials, and I see it on SmackDown, I assume it's going the same way for you on Raw right now, is it just kills your flow.
Yeah, it does.
At least on SmackDown, they at least do picture-in-picture occasionally. Raw doesn't give you that.
No. And I'm seeing the brand new Slim Jim commercial with Jey Uso and LA Knight.
Well, you got that beat for me. I'm watching. Watching civil suits.
Just in their leather fucking get ups.
Civil Suits is what I'm watching. Hey, coming back now. This is an interesting match they have just beyond the halfway point of the night.
Yeah,
I imagine it's going to go to about 10:30 like it usually does.
probably. They haven't had much reason to run it later than that.
No.
Except for maybe when they got things coming up for the bigger pay per views, such as WrestleMania.
Yep. I think it's not too long away. I think we're going to go back to 2 hours for SmackDown soon, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Give me a minute.
Okay. It almost seems like right now with SmackDown, the 3 hours is a little bit too much. And as they get rid of more people, just like, oh, okay, we'll shorten our time because we don't have people to fill it. A yeet chant going on. What the heck? Hmm. Oh, sitting here quiet, just watching the match. Who Road Breaker straps that well fall on down. They seem a little stiff. Maybe they're just not broken in enough. Sleeper hold now. Ow. I'm glad Bronson Reed's ankles got fixed as fast as they did. It's messed up. They ended up shattering both of them. The Survivor Series shit. War games. Oh boy, got caught. You're going to just hold him. Okay. Oh god. Let's go
Seriously? I don't know if he's paying attention to the stream or not.
I was busy trying not to be silent while you were away. I wasn't that good at not being silent. You didn't hear me, right?
I hear you.
Okay,
I'm watching the Judgment Day segment.
gotcha. Is that a Finn Balor lunchbox up there behind him? He's wearing a Carlito shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. How sad are you that there's no longer a PS5 going on in the background, too?
Yeah.
My pirate's back. Where's your wheel? She brought back the telescope, but she doesn't have the spinner wheel yet. But
Oh boy, I'm going to commercial again.
yeah, I don't understand. Like, does Liv feel like she's being replaced? What's her problem? Like, what's going through her head?
Well, yeah, well, all she said was is not that she doesn't trust Dom. So, okay, so do you not trust?
Oh, she doesn't trust Finn, but why? Roxanne just came out and helped Finn.
Okay,
What was the problem with that? There's no problem with that. It seems like a weird time to be mad.
oh, I didn't realize that MJF was in this new Happy Gilmore movie.
Yes. Oh, you're on commercial.
Yeah. Remember, I complained about it.
Yeah, Kyrie's still just in the ring. But I mean, I get that why Liv would be mad when it's Dom involved, but there was no Dom involved in this one. I'm confused why she was mad tonight. Pat's great. Raquel's got new music, or at least music I've never heard before.
Yay! I don't get to hear it.
Um, Raquel's gear is interesting tonight.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know if she's going to turn around. At some point, she needs to turn around. I can't tell if she's got a thong built into her gear or if, like, the gear. I think it's built into the gear. It's intriguing. They all just had a party. You see all the Instagram clips and TikToks of them on the yacht for Natty's
oh,
birthday?
yeah. All on there, and one of them got released. I forget which one that was, but yeah, that was.
Shotzi was released. She was on there. Cora Jade was out there too. She was also released.
I think. Is that who I was thinking of? Maybe.
Yeah, Cora Jade showed up late, but she was on the yacht near the because Bailey was waiting for her.
And see what you're talking about. It looks like, sort of looks like that's built in.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on that because it's not even, but it matches very well if it's not. Do we see Roxanne in this match?
Um, that would be a good point. Um,
Someone could come down and help Kyrie, and then Roxanne could show up. EO could, step in, or I think Asuka's gonna return at some point, but when I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know. You're laughing at Pat.
Yeah, of course. Eh, they're not in commercial this time. So I'm pretty sure that was a "We Want Truth" chant.
Yeah, it was. Oh.
Oof.
They're still to come is way out of date that they just popped up on the screen.
I missed it.
It was Jey Uso Sami Zayn tag team match.
Oh,
It's
so
like that
they
was,
changed the order at some point.
I guess so.
I imagine that, or it was just a mess up in the graphics truck. But I imagine maybe what happened was they switched this match and the Uso match for some reason.
Maybe so.
Interesting. The Roxanne storyline is killing me more than anything else because this match isn't bad, but I'm just waiting to see how it plays out with Roxanne. It's kind of like when you know a superhero movie has someone debuting, you're just waiting to see how they debut in it. Same idea.
Yeah. Oh, all the cuts. You start looking at some of these folks, and you're like worried about them getting cut. Like Raquel, like you don't. What, like in a sense, you kind of don't need her, and it's worrisome.
Man, this stuff is too easy to write. Maybe Io comes down and distracts Liv, and then Rox comes down to help. And I just said this about 30 seconds ago. Or does Raquel just lose and Finn has that to hold over Liv's head? I didn't even think about that.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, that didn't even cross my mind. Well played, WB.
Huh.
Now Finn can just hold that over Liv's head. Does she have a bump on her head? Yeah, she does.
Oh God. You got sliced on the forehead, huh?
That looks like it's like a blunt force split open. His contract's up at the end of the or sometime this year too.
Don't cut that man.
Like I said, his contract is up this year.
Fucking. You already brought eyes to the business. It's got a good head for this shit. Just that promo again, like I had me fucking locked in right before they go to commercial again. God damn it.
They're running a Julia package right now. I got to bail right after this is over to get my workout in for the night.
Okay. That felt like that slipped. Well, I think they backed both of these really well.
Now, what do you got there?
So it was another artist that it just, I don't know. It's something I really, really liked. Boy, I'm trying not to
A
get
lot of glare on that one.
all the reflection on there.
Looks like a landscape of some snow and trees.
Yeah, and let's see here. I get the whole thing out. Yeah, it was a ton of glare. There we go. That's better.
Very
I
cool.
just
Now,
really like that
who's
one.
in it?
It's just. It's almost like a Red Riding Hood sort of
Gotcha.
look. It just probably did that because it contrasts so well.
Oh yeah, looks good.
That's the light. So
I just wasn't sure if there was a fandom I wasn't aware of. Oh, Kathy
no,
Kelly's talking to Roxanne Perez.
For this lady, it looked like all her art was just kind of like original art, not of fandoms and stuff like that. So she just shows up at those cons and all her artwork was extremely detailed. Like all of it was like really pretty cool, but only really this one kind of caught my eye where I'm just like would actually want to kind of like pick it. It is difficult to get in here, but I am glad she put in a cardboard backing because all these other people didn't, and it the effort not to ruin everything. So you did like a large one, and then if you buy a large one, you get like a smaller one free. So quickly to get this one out before we're back from commercial.
12 more seconds.
I wasn't sure what to get, but then I saw this. I'm like, whoa! It's like a bunch of floating islands and shit.
That's very cool.
In the middle.
That's very cool.
I went with that just because I'm like, holy shit! Okay, that's a far out idea.
Apparently, this is the BOK Center, not the Bach Center, as I called it.
Oh. How could you have guessed wrong?
If it's BOK, shouldn't it have the dots in between the letters?
You would hope. That way it makes sense. The last stuff I don't really have to like really show. This is essentially a sword thing that holds dice in it.
Nice dice container.
Basically a dice container, and it's magnetized for like all of your D&D dice. So
wow, Laredo Kid's in a match. Holy crap. Sorry.
It's cool. But yeah. That. But I'm going to see if this it's a green dragon eye set. Oh, if I can get that to kind of show up. It's probably going to be too much glare, but there's a kind of like a dragon eye in there.
That's very cool. Can't really see it in the camera. You're right, but that's very cool.
Can't really. It creates too much glare. So I mean, if anyone would look up green dragon eye dice, you'd see exactly what it looks like. But yeah, I like that one because it was buy it from a vendor and not from like the website where it was going to be like double the price. So I was happy to get it from a vendor. Oh, and the Smart Mark guy gave me a tote bag. I was putting all my loot in it both days.
Nice.
I was able to carry it around. So I show that off just to promote the guy just one last time before this all ends. And that's all my stuff.
Good con
I
loot right there
I
for sure.
I spent quite a lot. The 2 sets of dice thing was like I wasn't gonna go for that until the wife was like, "Hey, I found those dice you want and whatnot," and I'm just like, "Okay, well, I guess I gotta spend more." But I got to a point where I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna be good." And nope.
Ah. Sorry, got a couple of messages. Why are we doing this? We know this. This just feels like filler to me.
Yeah, filler and trying to just build. Well, I mean that's not even the match of what's going on in Money in the Bank. So it's not even like in a way hyping this up because this will be what SummerSlam.
This really feels like they flipped the live match and the USO match.
Yeah,
Because this has
like
nothing to do
this.
with what's coming up with Money in the Bank, really. This has nothing to do with the match that just happened, and this has nothing to do with the main event.
It's almost like this shit played after the Jey Uso match.
Right. Which is why I'm thinking the graphic was out of place.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like they swapped those two matches for some reason. Because it just doesn't fit. What are you guys doing? I blame TKO. I'm just on a roll blaming TKO all night. I'm going to just keep doing it. How did this match end that I missed? The tag match.
Jay got curb stomped.
Huh. That doesn't seem like that's
He
very
dove
probable.
outside after Sammy's kind of like dive got caught.
Seth Rollins wasn't in that match. That's why I'm confused.
He ran out of the back down
Right.
the ramp and curb stomped Jay in front of the ref. Disqualification. You goofy dog, that's a 2x4. Why are you chewing on that?
Wait, is the World Heavyweight match on Raw? Yeah, the title
Yeah.
actually is on the line on. Who's booking this? Why is there a tag match to build up Cody and Cena, and then the world title is on the night after on Raw? 2 nights
That's
after
why
on Raw.
Rikishi just shit on the writers and just like, man, they need to fire that whole writing team over there. They don't know how to book this shit.
Yeah, they've lost so much steam. They were doing so well.
Yeah.
They were running at full sprint, like Usain Bolt, and now they're running like they're playing the game of quap. Like they just they can't get one leg in front of the other.
Another fucking commercial. God.
No, they don't want none.
I suppose this is my last commercial, is it?
Oh God, I hope so.
I bet not.
I mean, even if this is going to be no more than a 20-minute match, probably. What do you think? Give you 10 minutes of TV time, 3 minutes of commercial, and then another 7 minutes of TV time again?
Yeah, I think I'm doomed. I think there's another one they're gonna throw in there somewhere.
If there's another commercial, you're only going to be back for 7 minutes or so, roughly. Then you're going to be gone for 3, and then the last 10 to end it, probably. AJ's still the only one in the ring. Gotta get a workout in, guys. Gotta get a half-hour workout in to close my rings here, guys. I only need to do 100 calories. That ain't hard, but I need to do at least a half-hour long workout. AJ's arch nemesis,
Enemy.
enemy that is also a nemesis. El Grande Americano. This really is Monday Night Gable.
Again? They're chatting
Well, El Grande is in the match tonight. So Chad Gable has been on, I think, 2/3 of the commercial breaks. So the in-house crowd has seen Gable several times, and now he's main eventing the night as El Grande. Like, you don't think of American Made as being a top stable, but they're a top stable. They got more TV time probably than Judgment Day did.
That's really saying something too. They got a lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, granted, it's mostly commercial time, but Chad Gable and his entire group, the American Made as a whole, was in 2 backstage segments, maybe, and then El Grande came out during a commercial break and talked to not El Grande. Chad came out and talked to the crowd during a commercial break. So, like a full hour of the commercial breaks almost were filled by Chad Gable. Yep, there it is. Money in the Bank, 7:00. It will be off by 10, and UFC 316, headlined by O'Malley, will be on at that point. That is a long day. That is a WrestleMania-esque length day. Well, you're back in time for CM Punk's entrance.
Yeah.
Punk doesn't need this unless they want Punk to be the savior, which would be remarkable.
Oh yeah, they already got AJ in there. Yeah. They're gonna play out his music and they're gonna go to a friggin' commercial on me.
Yeah, but then you're going to have 10 straight minutes of action until it's over.
Maybe. I hope there's only one more commercial left. I'm not banking on commercials are done at this point.
That's fair. But if there is one more, that will take you to the 10:15 mark or 10:17 mark.
Oh, he's got new tights for this gimmick too.
Yep.
No red on them though, on those tights.
Goodbye, Chad. Thought he said goodbye, Chad, as they threw him out of the ring, but all right.
I heard Chad. Whatever.
Chad's the
Close
important
enough.
part. This would be a solid match. I'd watch this match. We can't have this match for some reason. We don't get good matches.
That's pretty ridiculous. These two would like put on a bunch of good matches as a feud.
So here's the complaint on both. He put the plate in the mask at this point, I take it. Is that why that hurt so bad?
Might have.
So the knock on AEW is they don't do stories well. They just put on banger matches over and over and over again. And then if you like story, WWE has some of the most slow burned but good stories you could have. And there's a problem with both. AEW, I agree. I think they need better storytelling, and they're getting better at their storytelling. Whereas I feel like WWE, because their stories are so drawn out, you lose opportunity for matches like this to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've had a Seth Punk feud since Raw went to Netflix, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Actually, before it, but, whatever. Who's counting? And at no point has Punk got to work with AJ, for example. You think he would change his poses up?
Yeah.
Here's your 3 minutes worth of commercials, essentially.
Yeah.
And you'll come back for maybe a grand total of 12 minutes of action.
Yeah.
He
Maybe.
has the same pose. Although that makes him really easy to create in the game. You just got to make the mask.
Yeah.
Even the poses are the same, so. Oh boy, you're missing some chops.
No.
CM Punk is chopping the hell out of El Grande. Oh, but the tables got turned. He threw El Grande back in the ring and was able to capitalize on Punk getting in the ring. Now he's returned the favor of some chops in the corner. AJ, last seen laying across the top of the table, is now getting in. He's slowly getting into the ring. Punk said something to El Grande. I don't know what. He's working the leg of CM Punk.
seconds.
AJ was trying to get back in, and El Grande kicked him back out again. So AJ can't even find his way into the ring at this point. Punk is up, using the middle rope to help keep himself steady as his leg is battered. El Grande sending him to the top turnbuckle. Looking maybe for a superplex. Even if there isn't one, Punk's in an uncomfortable position. He's got the connecting hook between the turnbuckle and the turnbuckle pad up his ass, essentially.
10 seconds, so if they can hold on to that and come back to it.
They're going to come back to it. They have a battle going right now on the top rope, and Punk is winning. Oh, double chop to the double knife ends to the clavicles.
And we're back.
Yeah, AJ couldn't get in the ring the entire commercial break.
Ow.
Like I said, Punk is in an uncomfortable position. Punk looks so uncommitted to that elbow every time he throws it. Like every time he throws it, it very much looks like he wishes there was a crash pad down there. I think you're back for good now, though. I think you're good to see the end of Raw at this point.
I hope so. I mean, it's only got like 6 minutes left. 6 or 11 or
I
something.
give it 11. It might bleed over an extra, 5. Because Punk's in the match. You could see Seth and his boys come out. Also, that come out to make Gunther more of a prophet than he already is.
Well, making Jay have to come out and help
Yep.
Punk. Jeez.
AJ, he worked so hard for that,
I
man.
know, all that work just to. You're like, all right, you hurt your knee and everything just to yank the guy off your shoulders.
How much of that is an act and how much of it is this is just hard to do at 40-something years old? Punk, more so than even AJ, and AJ's older than Punk, I'm pretty sure.
Chad's a what now, Michael Cole?
It did sound like he said what he said.
Should have just finished saying Gable because you stopped in the middle and it totally sounded like you said Chad is a.
Yep. Yep. That's obviously not what he meant, though. It's just one of those things where it's poor wording by accident.
It's just funny because of the accident.
Yeah.
I hate that this is awesome chant. It's okay. I'm not seeing it as like this is awesome. Like
There's so
all
much
right match.
potential in this match, but yeah, I wouldn't put it in the awesome category yet. Punk and
Yeah.
AJ by itself could be a phenomenal match. Adding Chad to it is good, but like this
It
has
kind
the
of takes something
same.
away from it.
Yeah, and additionally, this the part that kind of has everyone on edge is that we know the story behind it is probably going to mean that it either isn't a clean finish or the real meaning for it is after this match. You know, it's going to be the Seth and boys interfering.
Yeah.
I would like to watch an episode of Dynamite or one of the pay-per-views with you for AEW and just get your opinion contrasting the two types
All right.
because
Yeah,
they are very
that'd be
different
cool.
productions.
Americano was a bit late on that break up the pin moonsault. The ref really stopped his count just to get out the way.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't, he was going to count a 3, and people were standing up.
Yeah.
So yoink.
Yep. You could tell the Punk didn't fall directly into the cover. He had to fall goofy to get his legs by the rope.
Yeah. So it's the one thing where they say Zammy's not a good guy. The other thing where Jay's gonna not be 100% because he's helping his friends.
Yep.
So the Jay not being 100%, that's a possibility of ringing true. But what about the Sammy thing?
That won't take place tonight. By the way, he's allowed to have the metal plate in his mask. It's no disqualifications. I just thought of that.
Uh,
So what's the lineup here? Okay. So who screws that up for Seth? Or does Seth actually get it? Is AJ going to get involved? See, if you wanted to even this match up, this is where Braun Strowman would be helpful.
yeah. Well, the steel toe boots don't matter for a head stomp there, Pat. Doesn't matter. That was a very light spear.
Yeah.
Don't break your ankles. He was going up like this while you were away to do it on the announce table. I'm like, oh no, you're going to do it again. Don't do that. That's when Punk came out to save everyone.
Why is he beating down? You beat up Jay. You win Money in the Bank. Jay loses to Gunther on Monday. That doesn't help you, Seth. It doesn't make any damn sense at all. You didn't get a full 10 minutes. It went off before 10:30.
It did. At least I didn't get another commercial.
That's true.
Bastards. Eesh.
All right. I blame TKO for that too.
Yeah.
All right. That really wasn't all that eventful of a night of Raw.
No, it just build up for Saturday.
Yeah, and in my opinion, not even good. Like, I mean, I didn't mind watching it, don't get me wrong, but like, nothing new came from any of it.
Yeah, I just. Yeah, it's just kind of like just a normal show. I can't use the word like lackluster because it wasn't like really bad.
I think you could say lackluster. I mean, it
Okay.
doesn't mean it was bad, but it didn't bring anything to the table either at the same time.
I almost thought like maybe that would be a little bit too harsh, but maybe it is fitting.
I think that's what I'd describe it as, lackluster. I mean, everything progressed in the exact way you thought, but only by an inch or two. Like, we made no major leaps or bounds in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh.
all right, I gotta go get an extra. I get like a half hour in at least. I gotta get.
Yeah.
How many
Saturday
calories?
would be a lot better. It'll be interesting to see what NXT is gonna look like tomorrow.
I'm telling you, I really think they're gonna mix in the women who've been in the on the fringe more at this point, and then Ace Austin got, like I said, signed, and then Mariah May will show up at some point. And yeah, they'll fill out that way.
Yeah.
I just think I think you got kind of like the minor leagues of baseball now. I think you kind of got, not everybody, but I think you're going to have like an expiration date at some point here that if you don't work out, they're going to move on from you.
Yeah. So you better become a superstar before you hit 35 or otherwise you're out.
Well, I feel like that's the main roster. I think if you're on NXT, you get to about 25.
Ooh.
25, 26 before they better see something in you that they can move up.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but maybe tomorrow at some point or next stream we have, or if we stream on Saturday at all, we'll just sit down and look up some ages and see what we got going on down in NXT age-wise now that Jordan Grace is coming up soon too. But, I mean...
as far as I heard, she's supposed to be already up.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jordan's has been pulled up to SmackDown.
Okay, so we should see her
this Friday.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see if that's true or not. But that was the word where I was hearing Stephanie McCure being pulled up to Raw and Jordan Grace being pulled up to SmackDown at the same time.
I think
after Julia has.
I think I know who the oldest person on NXT is right now.
Who's that?
Ethan Page.
Oh, and he was just at commentary tonight, so maybe he's being pulled up as well soon.
Ethan Page was on commentary? When I missed that?
Yeah, he was sitting at commentary for what? Or was that part of SmackDown for last week?
Might have been
'Cause
part
I
of
kinda-
SmackDown.
I watched SmackDown right up to
Yeah,
it
must have been
ending
part of
and
SmackDown.
Yeah, so maybe it
So-
was SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna keep him down there much longer either at this point. Then
Yeah.
it just dawned on me that I knew that Ethan Page was older because, I mean, we were about the same age. Or maybe I was a little bit older. I realized when he was doing the indie scene when I started going to indie shows. So I kind of put two and two together, and sure enough, yep.
All right.
But we'll look into that more as we'll find some facts for that that theory another night.
Yeah. You gotta go run and do.
I got to go knock out the work, got to close these rings,
All right.
and I feel a bit better going to my doctor's appointment tomorrow. So,
Gotcha.
all right, let's end the stream.